Are your beliefs and thoughts holding you back in life? Keeping you from having the women you want, the sex life you want, the abundance you want? Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to change your health. But you keep having these negative thoughts that hold you back. I can't do it. It's too hard. It's going to be a struggle. I'm a loser. It won't work for me anyways. But we're going to take a look today at why that is in this short little video. And I'm going to break down how thoughts store in the body and why, if you've been doing a lot of work in this area, you may not be getting the success you want. See, there's a simple reason for it. I've been studying this area for years. I've been doing a lot of belief work for years. I've done hypnotherapy. I've done NLP. I've done theta healing. I've done EFT. I've done TFT. All these techniques that help shift the beliefs and thoughts in your brain, but only seem to work for a little while, and then they start getting stuck. And there's a simple reason for that. Because we as people today and men today have become more and more analytical. We have this critical factor in our mind that's keeping us from getting access to the feelings and emotions that hold those thoughts in place. Now I'm going to say that again. They keep us from getting to the feelings and emotions that hold those thoughts in place. Now I drew a little diagram here. I hope you like it. And in the diagram, I really wanted to illustrate a point. You've got thoughts and beliefs that store in the brain. This thought that I'm not good enough, I'm a loser, she'll reject me, money's hard to make. It could be of anything. But we have emotions and feelings that store in the body. Now, emotions, of course, are obvious. That's anger, sadness, loneliness, joy, happiness. But we also have feelings, which is what it's before emotions. I get a feeling sensation here. Maybe it's a warmth down here, and then we interpret it, and it comes into the heart. Maybe we interpret it into happiness. And that's a feeling sensation. So that's getting even more rudimentary. These feelings and emotions are then expressed through the body. So if I have the thought up here that I'm a loser, I can't get women, and I have sadness, loneliness, anxiety, and fear that I feel in the body in response to that thought, then it's expressed through the body. Okay, so just stick with me for a little bit. Now, if you didn't have the emotions in relationship to the thought would just fade away. The thought wouldn't stay around. And this is the key piece that people are missing. And actually goes a layer deeper than this. People are working so much on the thoughts and beliefs, they're missing the emotions and feelings, the deeper aspect. Matter of fact, they're doing anything they can to avoid them because that's the painful part. I don't want to feel sad. I'd rather think about my sadness and try to analyze a solution than actually drop deep into the sadness and fully feel it. But here's the funny part. When you learn to drop deep into the sadness and fully feel it, not wallow in it, that's a big difference, the sadness goes away. And then the thought fades away. There's an art to this. It's not something that's simple and easy to do in the beginning, but ultimately it is simple and easy to do. So let's take a deeper look at this and how it works. I'm giving you an overview, and I'm going to keep going deeper and deeper, so stick with me on this. Okay, so in this next slide, we're going to go a little deeper, like I said. This is my other diagram. Hopefully the artwork's getting a little better, probably actually a little worse. But if you look here, we got some specific thoughts now. We talked about thoughts and feelings. So here's the specific thought. I can't. She will reject me. I'm a loser. These are specific thoughts that you might hear in the background when you're going to take action. Okay? And when those thoughts come up, what happens is you might feel anxiety, fear, loneliness, or a whole nother host of emotions and feelings. There's tons of them. But what happens is because we don't want to feel these emotions, because we don't like feeling them, we create stories. We start to analyze. We start to think about them. We start to create a whole story as to why I can't do it, why she will reject me. And there's a whole story about my life, my childhood, my upbringing. My dad said this, my brothers were like this, or my height, my weight. And we just keep creating story after story after story. So now we don't just have thoughts and feelings, we have a whole host of stories on top of them that we've built that create our belief system about who we are. And we tend to analyze that over and over and over again. And really all we're doing is making things worse. We're actually teaching the brain to think more and more, analyze more and more, becoming more analytical and more stressed out, and even possibly dramatic too, where we start to dramatize the stories and make a bigger deal out of them than they are. That causes the emotions, anxiety, fear, and loneliness to stick deeper in the body and actually anchor more and more thoughts, creating a bigger problem. So one of the tools that a lot of people use today to get over this is kind of the fake it till you make it mentality. We start to pretend to be confident. I'm going to act confident. We start to use positive thinking to try to resolve the problem. Because ultimately, if you don't resolve this, the only option you've got is to do this positive thinking. And then what happens is you got one of two choices. Either you don't do the positive thinking and it's expressed through the body, sadness, loneliness, and people see that this heaviness on you all the time. And then we start to wallow in it. We start to feel sorry for ourselves. We start to play the victim. Or we say, you know what? I'm just going to be confident today. I'm going to act confident. Just go up to that girl and be confident. And then we put on a fake persona, this fake game face. And we start to walk over there and I'm going to push down my emotions and, hi, how you doing? And what happens then is that you have this fake plastic social robot on top of the sadness, and people feel it. I've had clients come to me after many years, 7-10 years of doing work around dating, and they have so many layers of this social robot, positive thinking, pushing, trying to fake it till they make it, that they're burning out, they're stressed, they're tired, and they act so weird because they don't even know how to move, walk, and talk anymore, because none of it really ultimately works. The only time positive thinking really works well in this case is if you're already close. Let's say I have a few negative thoughts, but I kind of like myself, and there's some doubt and worry, but I'm close to confident. I've kind of got it. And I use positive thinking, and it's not a big leap then. It's like, okay, I just need a little more confidence, and that positive thinking will propel me to success because I'm already close to the goal. But for a lot of people, especially the people that come to Fearless, the people that come in here to get deep work done, they have a lot more of this going on. They have a lot of deep stuff embedded inside. They have a lot of negative thoughts. Matter of fact, there's thousands probably. It's not just one. And so learning to trim that away, to start to change the way you think, is all about stripping away all the emotions that are linking them in place, a little bit at a time. You see, I'm gonna be honest with you right here, really honest. You're not gonna step in the door, delete a few thoughts, and change your whole reality if you're that heavy, if you got that much negative beliefs. But if you get really consistent, if you work hard and you do the work, it doesn't have to really even be hard, you just work consistently, it's gonna be like bodybuilding. Inside of 3 months, you can make a radical shift in the amount of emotions holding those thoughts in place and start to feel like a whole new human being. Start to express from a whole new place so that the expression through your body starts to change. Because all of these are starting to disappear. You see, under all of that, you are naturally confident. You're naturally masculine. You're built to attract women. You're male. And women are built to attract men if you happen to be a female watching this. And so under all of that is your power. So as you start to strip all these emotions away and you start to let the thoughts go, because when there's no emotional attachment, the thought doesn't stay around, then you naturally start to change who you're being. You naturally start to connect to women better. You naturally start to connect to people better. Once you start to get this, it's huge, because the level of anxiety and fear stored in the body can be huge. But there's a really important piece here. When we start to clear out the body, before we can even do that, actually, before we can clear out the body, we have to get a deeper level of embodiment. This is what nobody teaches. Everybody says delete the emotions, feel the emotions, but nobody talks about the level of embodiment. You see, you can only get the emotions out of your body that you can feel. Think about that for a minute. You can only get the emotions out of your body you can feel. And most people have spent so many years thinking and analyzing, they have a horrible relationship to their own body anymore. They think they can feel, but the truth is they come in the door and they can't. They need to learn to feel their legs again. They need to learn to feel their hips and waist and stomach, and there's so many emotions stored there. And when they do, they're overwhelmed. Well, let's say not totally, because you go in a little bit of time, but it's a huge realization to how much you've been avoiding all of these stored emotions throughout the whole body. And as you get deeper and deeper, everything starts to change. Because once these emotions start to come out, after you do the embodiment, after you learn to feel, and then you start to hear more of the thoughts, then you start to feel more of the stored emotions, and you start to let them go, start to release them through the allowing process, then your life begins to change. So let's take a look at the next slide. In this slide, you start to see the body in a different way. As we become more embodied, we begin to feel our legs, which is the grounding aspect of our body. We build a relationship to our legs, movement, feeling. So think about this a minute. In high school, who gets all the girls? In college, who are the women attracted to? How often are women attracted to athletic men? It's because those men are more embodied. Creative men, because those men are more embodied. How often are they attracted to the nerds? Not as much. It's because they have more relationship to the emotions and feelings in their body. That's part of what it is to be an artist. That's part of what it is to be an athlete. Now, you don't have to be a super athlete to feel. You just have to feel, because emotions are how we communicate. And that's one thing we really emphasize here at Fearless, is a deep level of embodiment that gets you a stronger emotional relationship to the body. If you haven't seen some of the recent videos I put out where we're actually showing the relationship of, we have a new guy that comes in the room, he's never worked with us before, standing in front of one of the women that works for Fearless. Go for it.
Hi, I'm Ian. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Emily.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, good. Hey, what was happening was you were pulling back this way even as you went forward, and telling her, I don't want to get too close to you. And in a sense saying, I'm nervous or scared of you. And so she's feeling that even in your high. And trying to connect to her. And you can see the level of anxiety and fear and how he's pulling out of that conversation. And how with little adjustments, we start getting him to feel more and relate more, and he starts to be able to connect to her better. Well, that has a lot to do with your relationship through your whole body. Once you start to realize this and you start to understand it, a whole new world opens up to you. A whole new world of possibility. So with that said, I want to take this even one notch deeper. You see, the body, when you start to clear out all these thoughts, starts to really change. It becomes a vehicle of expression and all these emotions. But here's the challenge, and this is the other big challenge that everybody's missing. The level of embodiment is essential to getting to all the buried thoughts, to all the buried emotions. Because we have stuff stored in all through the body. And a lot of people are spending all their time up here thinking, analyzing, judging, dramatizing, avoiding all the feelings in the body. Down in the legs, down in the root of the body, down at your perineum, around the ass, that area is your grounding area. That's the area you begin to feel down your legs, especially the backs of the legs, the outside of the legs, and you begin to feel a sense that you can handle it. I can handle stress. I can handle difficult situations. I can get shit done. It makes you feel more masculine as you begin to re-embody this area. Now, there's tons of subtle little micro adjustments that you develop feeling in that really help to wake this area up. And as you make those adjustments, you begin to feel more and more emotion. And as you let go of those stored emotions that are linking to the thoughts, you naturally begin to utilize that part of the body the way it was meant to. The next part is your passion. And this area, you've got passion, creativity, turn on. It happens around the lower part of the body. And women feel that. They feel your passion. They feel your turn on. A great example of this is Arnold Schwarzenegger in Pumping Iron. He would say, I'm coming all the time. I'm coming when I'm crossing the street. I'm coming when I'm curling. And what he's talking about there is his turn on, not just for women, not just for sex, but for life. He's turned on to get up every morning and make stuff happen. And so many clients come in the door and they can't feel this area of the body well. They're very numbed out. Matter of fact, they're ashamed to have turn on because so many people in society teach shame around turn on. And turn on is used for so much more than just sex. It's amazing for sex, but oh my God, for art, for creativity, for building a business, for making money, it's essential. It's the most creative energy in your body, and you need to get into a relationship with it so you can be more creative and be more excited about life. The next one is around the stomach area. It's self-esteem. It's how you feel about yourself. It's an area I've had to do tons of work on myself. It's an area that when it's really bad, for a lot of people can start to cause IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, gut problems, stomach problems, all kinds of stuff like that. And it has to do with your self-esteem and your personal power, your confidence. And almost every client that comes in the door that has problems has a problem in this area. Matter of fact, they go through lots of emotions as we re-embody this area and we begin the releasing process. Now, each one of these areas, as you begin to release on them, increases your sense of self-love, increases your sense of confidence as you begin to work through them. The next area is your heart. And this is where your heart begins to open and you feel more connected to people, more sense of love, compassion, curiosity. And in today's society, with the new age movements and all this kind of stuff, they tend to ignore all of this and they work primarily on the heart. And have you met those new agey guys that are just like all peace and love, but they can't seem to get their life together? They can't seem to get women attracted to them. They're women's best friends because they got a big heart, but they have no, excuse my language, but cojones, balls. They can't fucking go make shit happen. And that's because of these energies down here are missing. And as you start to combine these energies with your connection, don't turn it down, but you turn it up, you start to feel like a whole different kind of guy. A guy not just filled with love and passion, but a guy not just filled with love, but passion and turn on. A guy that's not afraid of sex and also not afraid of intimacy. He's the whole package. Okay, and then as we move up even more and we begin to embody the throat, that's your ability to speak your truth, express your truth, to express yourself, to say what you want and to stay congruent with it, to tell a woman honestly where you're at in your life and have her really respect you for saying, I'm not interested in a relationship right now. I'm just dating, and have her really get that you're telling the truth because you're expressing honestly. Or to say, I'm creating a business and mean it and feel the power in it. Or to say, I want a relationship and I like you and I want to be with you, and have a woman feel it instead of doubting you, because your truth is very powerful. Now, and right up here, this is where it all starts. This one here is the intention. That right there is where you hold an idea in mind. And most people get up there and they think and they analyze and they think and they analyze and they think that's what you're supposed to do. That's not what you do. What you do is you hold an idea, an end result in mind, and then you get in touch with the feelings of that end result straight down through the body. And when you really hold that end result and you stop thinking about how I'm going to do it, how hard it's going to be, how difficult it's going to be, and you just sit and you really explore either the general emotions or specific emotions, depending on what feels good, with that intention, you begin to start a process that's very powerful. Because once you've got the intention, you know what you want, you're able to speak your truth about it and say, that's what I'm creating, that's what I'm going for, and you're able to stick to it. Then you're able to fuse it with your love, your passion, compassion, your curiosity, your appreciation for it. Then you're able to fuse it with your personal power, your self-confidence that you can physically make this happen. You start to feel your stat in your stomach. It's like, I got a gut feeling about this. Then you start to fuse it with passion. This is where turn on comes on, creativity. Like it's like a turn on, like kind of like a sexual turn on, but you're turned on for it. And this is where David Data or somebody like that would say, you're gonna fuck this idea into being. You know, you're gonna birth it just like by fucking it into being. And then you're gonna drop it down into your grounding, and you're gonna ground the idea out. And every idea needs a grounding, just like think about it. Would a car start if the car battery didn't have a grounding cable? Would the lights turn on if there wasn't a grounding, something grounded to keep the electricity? I'm not an expert on how all this works, but I know it always needs a grounding. And without the grounding in the body, all of this starts to short, okay? So this is the what wakes up. And what we do here at Fearless is we help you to get first embodied, to start to feel these areas, because so many people can't even feel these parts of these bodies. And then we start to teach you how to use these areas to become the most powerful man possible. So not only can you be a great compliment to the beautiful, amazing women in this world, but you can go out and give your contribution to the world in a powerful way. To be somebody that gives back as a masculine, confident, solid man. It's a powerful process. It takes some work, but with consistent work, you can make huge changes in a short period of time. That's how we get such powerful results here at Fearless. We know how the body works, and we work to change it. And we look at each individual and tune them up specifically the way they need to be tuned up, okay? So what I want to invite you into is our allowing embodiment process. We have an allowing embodiment process that's a week-long process. It's a very powerful, intensive process. This process is not for everybody. It's for people that have a serious commitment to change. There's a lot of emotions that come up, a lot of work that happens, a lot of change that happens. We dig deep inside. We help you to develop your masculine, your personal power, your strength, your confidence, your ability to fuck reality, fuck your idea into being, to infuse it with passion, your ability to ground it out, your ability to connect it with love and compassion, your ability to be a powerful, energetic machine in relation to what you want to create. That is a week-long process that we do here coming up in June. If you're interested in finding out more about how this works, I would jump on it right away. Give us a call, let us know. So what will you get at this week-long intensive? And the first thing you're going to get is this deep level embodiment I talked about. There's a lot of embodiment, energetic embodiment, not like exercise. This is energetic embodiment, getting all the energy flowing through the body so you can feel all the emotions, feelings, and stored stuff that's stuck in the body that's been buried down there for years, so you can start to let it up. That's the first piece. Not only will you be going through the embodiment, it'll be customized to you since the group is really maximized to 10. We'll be taking you through group processes, and I'll be sitting there personally going around making adjustments to everybody, working on getting their energetics just right. It's subtle, tiny adjustments, helping you to feel more than you've probably ever felt in your life. And some of it is pretty crazy when we really dive deep into it. The next thing you'll be getting is the fearless releasing, allowing process that works with the energetic embodiment, where we start to teach you how to go through all these parts of the body, how to welcome and release. And there's many different ways to do this. So there's some work better for you, some don't, some work better for different parts of the body, and how to welcome and release all the different stored stuff that's in the body once you're in that area, so that you're not only feeling, you're actually starting to release it. Some people come to us and they can feel a lot, but they've never been taught how to let it go. So we start teaching them a lot of these allowing, releasing processes, and they start to shift radically because they already can feel. But some people come to us and they can't even feel. And they can do all the releasing, allowing they want, and that might be you. And nothing changes because they're so numbed out in all the wrong spots. And as we start to turn those spots on, those releasing, allowing processes start to work. What happens is these two processes work hand in hand. So as we begin to turn that part on, we're going to start doing a lot of guided releases. I'll be going through guided releases, working with you guys specifically. That's why we only want 10 in the room, where we can dive deep into your personal issues, what's going on with you, and help you get the releases you need to have a radical shift inside of that week. Now, also remember, this is a week-long process. And if we're diving deeper into your body every day and doing releases every day and teaching the releasing and allowing process every day, the radical shift you can get by the end of the week is huge. So if this is something you're interested in, and remember, it's not for everybody. We're only allowing 10 people max in. And this is for people that really are ready to dive into their emotions, do a deep work, and really process. But if this is something that you're interested in, make sure to contact Fearless right away before it fills up. Go onto the website, thefearlessman.com, check out the contact tab, either call us, chat with us, or send us an email, and we'll get back to you, and we'll be glad to discuss what goes on. If you need to talk to somebody who's been through the process, also ask the associate or the person you talk to get you in touch with somebody that's been through the process so you can start to understand what goes on. We're here to help. We're here to support. We're here for real change. We're not going to sell you a weekend workshop that's just a bunch of games that really do nothing. We're here to cause real and permanent change in men's lives and to help them get more grounded, more connected to their body, more passionate, more turned on, and to create happier women because of it. So if that's something you're interested in and you want to do it in the most powerful way possible, then get in touch with us right away. It's taking me a lifetime to figure this process out, and it changes lives. This is for people that want to make a huge life change. And if this is something you want to do, and you really want to dive into the stuff that's been holding you back, you don't want to waste one more day of your life floundering. You really want to figure out what it is to be powerful, to be confident, to go after your dreams, to make stuff happen as a man, not just with women, but every part of your life. And if you end up in the workshop, if you end up being one of the few people that end up at this event, then I will be there personally working with you, along with the whole Fearless staff, helping to change your life on a radical level. Maximum 10. So once we hit 10, we don't take any more, because with this process, the amount of embodiment, the depth of feeling, all the releasing processes we go through to release the stored emotions, it takes a lot of work to work with each individual to get them where they need to be. We have to look at their subcommunication, how they're feeling about themselves, how they're relating to their bodies. We have to teach them specific movement processes to get them deep in their body, and specific releasing processes to help them release all the stored garbage that's been holding them back. With that said, again, it's not for everybody. If it's something you're interested in, let us know right away before all the spaces fill up. I look forward to potentially meeting you in person, and I look forward to helping you have the most powerful life that you can have. Remember, only the confident really live. I'll see you in the next video.